Hey, this is Oli.
And this is Jordan.
Welcome to the Real Cup Podcast, where we give you our unfiltered take on life. Got it third time.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Messed up a little bit. You guys will probably see those outtakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Your
Uh,
ultimate take on life.
The ultimate take
It's
on
the
life.
ultimate today.
I mean, that's not
The
horrible.
ultimate.
The ultimate.
Yeah.
Everything is
Mhm.
to the max.
Yeah,
110.
exactly. It's that kind of a day. It's Monday.
It is.
So,
Welcome to Monday.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't have a song for that.
that's okay.
Yeah.
N-
Good.
Next time.
I mean,
That's
I do have a song.
it's the same
It's not
song.
my song,
Yeah.
but
Somebody else's song.
yeah, it's someone else's.
That makes sense. You can sing somebody else's song.
But I did before.
That's a lot of S's. You can sing somebody else's song. Say that 3 times fast.
Sing somebody else's song. Oh, that's not too hard.
That's not too bad. Yeah,
That's
you
not too bad.
busted that out pretty well.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It's pretty
Thank
good.
you.
Well, guys, we're back. We had a little hiatus. I had to take a little break. I got some things going, but we're happy to be back with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of closed out 20 episodes, which was awesome.
Heck yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Time flies.
absolutely. Yeah, we're at least, let's see, we started this, I think, around October, November-ish,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so we're in what, March now?
Crazy.
So, yeah, and going strong, which is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What's new in your life?
I had a really relaxing weekend, actually.
Oh yeah, tell us about
Yeah.
it.
I did have an appointment Saturday morning. Had to skip swim lessons, as you know, because we've
Yes.
been, I don't even know. We might have talked about the fact that we started taking swim lessons together. I
think
don't
so.
remember, but probably then.
If
Yeah.
not, just to recap, we
Yeah.
started taking swim lessons to up our game with our triathlons,
Yeah.
with a lady who is amazing
Yes.
and is so understanding and helps us kind of understand the form
I
better.
mean, and the basics in a lot of ways,
Yes.
because we had to like practice. She had us on the edge, practicing our breathing like 3-year-olds.
Which is like
But
the part you think would be so easy,
I know
but I've had the
it
hardest
was
part.
so hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like you and I both like learned maybe to just swim, figure it out on our own.
Yeah. Save your life swimming. That's what I
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. Like we could live,
Yeah, absolutely.
but it's not proper form or
No,
anything.
not at-
So we're just like totally starting over.
Right. Well, yeah, and I like how she pointed out because not to sound dumb or whatever, but I just hadn't put 2 to 2 together.
Yeah.
When she was like, "I'm going to teach you how to save your legs
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to need it for the rest of the race," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, of course, it's the only area we get to save our legs in, really."
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I love that aspect that she understands what we're training for as well,
Right.
which is
We're
really
doing
cool.
long distance and not like, you know, how some
Sprint.
people do like a sprint swim, like
Right.
really fast, really short term. We're not doing
Which is
that.
crazy awesome
So
too.
she's
but-
customizing it, yeah, to like a long swim,
Absolutely.
triathlon specifically.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool.
All right, because I mean, it is a 1.2 miles, which is
Mhm.
so. Man, it was so much farther than I thought it would be.
Ugh. And in the river, I mean, it's dirty. I was having like just water splash in my face, up my nose, like accidentally drinking it. Like
Yeah.
it's scary.
It is scary.
Kinda.
It's
At
a
least
lot
it was
going
to
on.
me. So
No, I agree with you.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like it's a very real situation. I mean, people do, get injured out there and get hurt or pass,
Yeah.
And so it is, yeah. And I mean, not that you can't die running or biking, I guess, per se. I'm sure you could think of a scenario or situation.
Yeah.
But like if I get too tired on my bike, I'm just going to pull over and stop and rest for a second. If
Yeah.
I get too tired on my
It
running,
would, yeah. Yeah.
swimming, it's what happens when you get too tired, right? You sink.
Mhm,
Like unless you
mhm.
can like learn to
Yeah.
float or something like that. Which
Well,
thankfully I did like some back floating
But
last
if
year.
you like gulp down that water and it get like, I don't know.
Well, and what's in it? That's the other side of it. Yeah, that's if we're talking
It's
about
like
that.
we're
Yeah.
gonna get a disease, but we'll finish the
Absolutely.
race.
'Cause that's I remember growing up here and everybody my whole life has always talked about the Willamette and like
Mhm.
how you're gonna get 3 arms if you swim in it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people do. And obviously we did. We're
People
fine.
do get 3
Um,
arms.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a 3-arm Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. We call
Yeah.
him
It'll be us
Tat for
soon.
short. 3-arm
Okay.
Tom.
Speaking of, you got
Yes.
a new tattoo.
Oh, the great segue. I didn't even mean to do that. I did. I literally just got
Like
a new
sat in
tattoo.
here today in the studio and I'm like, wait a second, I spy some saran
A
wrap.
little saran wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some
Know what that
you
means.
can't really see it for the people at home watching on video, but another
Yeah.
a lyric. I'll have a lot of lyrics. I like lyrics and poems and things like that. And
Mhm.
and this one just I think it reminds me more to stay what it means to me or whatever is to stay in the moment and kind of be aware, right? And
Mhm.
the lyric is I'm an addict for dramatics. I confuse the two for love.
Yeah.
And I think that's it's important to remember that like some people like to put on a grand show. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily mean they care,
Yeah.
you know, stuff
Yeah.
like that. You got to be careful
The
with these
harsh
things.
reality.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's okay, you know. And it's a great lyric, and I
Mhm.
always love getting a new tattoo. You know,
Yeah.
it's a. I think anybody with tattoos can tell you it's like a form of therapy
Oh yeah,
in a
for
sense. Yeah,
sure. Mhm. Yeah. That's
but
awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I had to skip swimming lessons Saturday. We'll do it next Saturday.
Yeah,
Went on a nice long hike with the family.
just awesome.
Yeah. Went to Silver Falls. Silver Creek Falls? Silver Falls. What's it called?
I think it is Silver Creek Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and it was just super nice because the weather. And then like now it's rainy for the next week and a
Oh,
half
it
or
is, isn't
something.
it?
It's
We're in
just
that
ridiculous.
time. Oh,
Yeah.
because we're coming up to April.
Yeah.
That's right.
The
It's rain
April
season.
showers are gonna bring Mayflowers, hopefully.
Hopefully, I'm like blocking out our swimming
Um,
lesson right now as we're talking.
yeah, it's like literally supposed to be rainy until a week from this Wednesday, so week and a half. Um, so great hike Sunday. Actually relaxed for a while.
Good.
Yeah, and
That's awesome.
I have started the gym again just to try to build up my muscle before the triathlon because you just need to be strong. I just need to be strong. I can't do all
Well,
cardio.
you're gonna
I
burn and
could, but yeah.
right.
Mhm.
Well, and I agree. Like, so I don't know if we have ever talked about this portion of like my triathlon training. I'm sure we probably
Mhm.
have,
'Kay.
but so I adapted this last year after Ironman last year. I
Mhm.
lost weight.
Yeah.
Like I noticed it.
Right.
Like it's an
Like
endurance thing,
muscle?
muscle mass.
Oh,
Yeah, my
yeah.
body had eaten itself, right, to make it through the 7 hours and
Right.
11 minutes of movement
Right.
constantly going.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, um, I know with my times, I
Mhm.
took about 12-minute intervals. So that means in that 7 hours and 24 minutes or 11 minutes, I only rested 24 minutes
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
whole time.
Right.
You know what I
That
mean?
is a
Otherwise, I
long
was
that's a
moving.
full day.
Right, the rest of the
Ugh,
time, right?
yeah.
And so when thinking about that, and just because I want to do better this next year, right? So
Right.
looking in different areas.
Yeah.
Um, this last year, I've actually thought about how I want to pack on some extra weight,
Mhm.
like even maybe a little bit extra fat,
Mhm.
because like the day
Bulk a
of,
little. Yeah.
you're gonna burn that fat.
Right.
When your body's
Yeah.
looking for extra energy,
Yeah.
that's what fat is,
Right.
right? You're gonna burn
Yeah.
that out. So not like I want to get like huge or anything, but
Yeah.
just like it's
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe I'll
That
pack on a little
buffer
extra.
kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. Which the muscle I think is still great as well.
Yeah.
Um, like I wouldn't encourage you to put on like it's,
Yeah.
like you should get fat too. Let's get fat.
Yeah.
No, and there's nothing. I'm
Right.
not trying to
Mhm.
like make fun of anybody, or anything,
Yeah.
but like there is a little bit of bulkiness, even with muscle mass. I'm doing as well because like
Yeah.
to counter
Yeah.
our body's
Yeah.
eating itself,
Mhm.
which I read some people have done as well.
How very Dahmer of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah.
Hey, as long as it's yourself and not someone else.
Right, right. Eating myself and not somebody else. Yeah. I mean, that's that's so funny and true. I mean, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what like when I used to be a trainer, I would talk to clients about that. Like when your stomach starts to make those noises or
Yeah.
you start to feel that pain,
Yeah.
that's literally a sign of your body starting to eat itself.
Right. You don't wanna get there.
Right,
Yeah.
and so having a little extra in there
Yeah.
is good.
Well, and plus when you feel that way and you're so hungry, it's so easy to make a poor food choice.
100%.
Because you're like, "Oh my gosh, I am" like, you can feel
Yeah.
that your body is starting to literally eat itself. You're like, "I need something now," which is good and
Mhm.
normal in that situation. I mean, it's not good, don't even get there in the first place, but,
Right.
so, yeah,
But you're not
I
wrong,
get
like,
you.
yeah, it is because 'cause you're like, "I just need something now."
Yeah,
That
yeah,
feeling. It's
and
the
you do.
emergency.
Like, your body it is correct. You do need something right then, but
Absolutely. That's
yeah,
so cool. Well, that sounds
but,
like a great weekend.
yeah, yeah,
That's
so
so cool.
I've been working out. went to the gym this morning,
Yeah, how was
and
that?
I'll go again at 1.
Okay.
It was fine. I don't care for the gym. I don't like
I
to
know it's not a huge
go.
thing for you, yeah.
Yeah, it's not my favorite at all. And this morning at 5, it was busy.
Mhm.
I didn't like that either.
5 and 6 a.m. are
I kind of
huge
like,
busy times.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I like taking my time. I not like not having to wait for things. I'm so new to it and inexperienced. I don't know etiquette yet or
Right.
anything. And there's not like anyone to learn from if
Yeah.
I'm by myself. So it's just overwhelming. But I'll go again today at 1. It's like super dead. There's usually like 3 people
1
in
will be
there.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I have been doing
Cool.
is 1 o'clock. So I just thought I'd test out like a couple times a day once in a while just
Good
to
idea.
like expedite it. So,
Yeah.
and then I still have to do an outdoor workout
Right, 'cause
every
you're
day too.
yeah, 'cause
So,
for our listeners, so she's back doing the 75 hard again,
mhm,
kicking butt, taking names,
ish. Yeah,
ish.
actually overall, yeah. This
Yeah.
has been the easiest round so far.
See, that's
It
awesome.
gets easier every time by far.
And that's what like when people come to me to talk to me about it, which is funny because I've never done it.
Yeah,
And I'm always like people are like, "Oh, you've done
they
it
just
right?" And I'm
assume.
like, "No." Yeah, they assume because
But
we do
you
a
do
lot.
know about it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, when I'm at my peak, I am
Yeah.
kind of doing similar stuff because I'll run
Right.
at night and I'll work out
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily an outdoor workout, so
Yeah.
like there are small
But it's similar.
differences,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Um, Definitely could use it for my diet. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking with a girl that I hung out with this last year,
Yeah.
and because we're still friends,
Yeah.
and she was making fun of me because she was like, I can't believe like the shape you're in
Yeah.
with the diet you have. And I was like, I know I hear that a lot. And she's like,
Yeah.
she's like, you said that, and I didn't believe it. And then you came over for a movie one time, and it was like I was hanging out with a 12-year-old boy,
Oh my
like the
gosh.
snacks you brought over.
Yeah.
I just started laughing, so I was like, well, I can't like, I can't deny
Yeah.
it. It's true.
That part's
Um,
the easiest for me,
yeah,
but
see,
it's
that's
like
awesome.
everyone has something in there that's
Mhm.
the struggle.
Right.
It's like there's something. And so I'm thankful that that's the easiest. I don't really like can't well, I'll eat candy sometimes, a couple
Right.
times a year. I don't really like ice cream or chocolate or desserts.
See, that makes sense.
Like, I
See,
don't know.
I'm not a big like, I'm not gonna go and get like a bag of candy,
Yeah.
like per se, but a box of like ho ho cupcakes or whatever, you
Like,
know
I
what I
haven't
mean?
had
Those
that since I
things.
was like a kid.
Yeah, see, that's what I love those. I'll eat
Yeah.
a whole box of them in like one
Yeah.
night, like no
Yeah.
problem. And
Yeah.
it is a
But
problem though,
everybody, yeah, like, but I have other things on that list that
right?
are naturally very hard for me, and that's why it helps though.
Absolutely.
Is it like improves my habits every single time I do it.
Yeah, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And I've talked to some other people who I didn't realize there was a 75 soft.
People just make that up because the other one is
Is
too
that?
hard.
I was
There's
wondering.
0. So Andy Frisella is the creator of it, and he
Okay,
has a podcast and a very big business. He's a self-made millionaire,
right.
and he has 75 hard. He would never do 75 soft. He'd probably rather
Okay.
blow his brains out.
So
Like, he is very intense,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he would make he would shred someone if he thought they were doing 75 soft.
Okay, see, yeah, I have no
So
idea about because I
that's
only know
for
about it through you.
people. Yeah, that's for people. I would never do it too because I
Yeah,
would slack. I just wouldn't stick to it.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of, and I've never known anyone to actually go 75 days in whatever plan they set for themselves
Right.
because it's not a thing.
Well, yeah, what are you being held accountable to?
There's
That
nobody
makes sense.
holding you accountable. It's just a slippery slope.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because then if you're like, I'll eat, desserts on the weekends, but really, what's to stop you? Because you would have just ate it a few days ago.
right.
And so it's like, yeah, that sort of thing.
Well, and I get that if you're gonna like it's good to have like goals, I think is the word I'm looking for,
Yeah.
or like standards, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boundaries, like when you're working
Yeah.
within like a certain way.
Hmm.
And I could see that.
Like
Absolutely.
if you want to make it like your lifestyle, then that's good.
Yeah.
But
Well, I used to say I think you have to find things that are sustainable as well. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even if it takes some time to work into,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
um, like whenever people talk about like dropping carbs altogether, it always blows my mind. I'm like, are you gonna do that for the rest of your
Ooh,
life?
yeah.
Because like
Like
that's not
that's not sustainable.
no, it's not
Mm-mm.
sustainable. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're gonna do it for the rest. But
Yeah. Oof,
yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Okay, so I was curious about that.
Yeah.
So I saw some people posting about it recently, and it seemed
Mhm.
like a nice way, if you're not an intense person, because some
Yeah.
people are not like us. Like
Yeah.
I am as well. Like I
Right.
wouldn't do the soft personally, but
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's mostly like it's cool to do, but it's
Hmm.
like people try to give themselves credit as if they're doing 75 hard, and it's just so different.
Right. Well, it has to
Like
be. Yeah.
it's like not even because the whole point is to stay disciplined to a commitment,
Hmm.
and like it's just a different like it's not a program. The other one's
Right.
just
Right.
like, yeah, like you said, like a good goal, like
Right.
lifestyle, but you can't affiliate yourself with 75 hard if you're doing 75
Well,
soft.
and that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and talk
Absolutely.
to anyone that said that they completed that, and I guarantee you they are like, "Oh, I just did it." Like, it's very fluid.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I bet there is a huge difference. I mean, even like in everything. Like remember how
Yeah.
we did I remember walking around Iron Man
Yeah.
talking about how the half was a bit, and then you see these other
Yeah.
people being like, I do fulls. I do
Yeah! I
ultras. You know what I
know.
mean? And you're like,
That's
oh,
you feel like
okay, jeez.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh my gosh, never
But
mind, I'm shutting up
those
now."
are bragging rights. I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting
Yeah.
to, right? I
Yeah.
mean, like if you do something like there is a difference of levels,
Mhm.
right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And if you put in a certain amount of effort, I can understand not wanting somebody to be like,
Right.
you're not at the same, and not even
Yeah.
necessarily in a mean way, but you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
there's difference in efforts. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Totally.
And I like if you are gonna use it and actually use it as a platform to jump into it and it
Yeah.
works, then great.
Yeah.
But I could see, I don't know, like, but see, that's why I wonder, like, I love talking to people about their mindsets and
Mhm.
different ways of the way people think,
Yeah.
because to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're
Yeah.
gonna do it, you do it,
Yeah.
right? That's how I do
Yeah.
everything. I
I
just
mean, it's
jump into
like
stuff.
anytime it's like it would be like if someone was like, I'm gonna do the Iron Man in
Right,
70.3 miles, right?
right,
And so it'd be if somebody like did a couple miles a day and then took a few days off.
right, right. No, that's what I'm saying. Or
That's
did like
not the
a
Iron Man.
triathlon sprint and was like,
Yeah.
oh, I did an Ironman. No,
Yeah.
you did sprint. It's much
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
the
the
same
same thing at
idea.
all.
It's still great.
It
Like,
is
good for
amazing.
you. It's better
Yes.
than nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is like the overall point, right? Like I don't
Yeah.
want to just dog on these people. Like
Right.
any movement, I am proud of you.
Yeah.
Great job.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Overall, that's the
Just do a
overall.
teeny bit of progress every day. And if you
Exactly.
go backwards, that's okay. Just like get back up.
Absolutely. Like how
Yeah.
many times did you fail 75 hard?
Like twice.
Right.
And
I think that's important for people to
both of
hear.
the times I was pretty almost halfway in
Yeah, see? I mean, it
because
happens.
it's like really hard. Yeah.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, it's in the name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard,
I don't know what
which is
day I'm on right now. Let's see. I'm on day 38.
ooh,
So I'm over
that's
halfway
awesome.
there, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
roughly. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's so
So
cool.
but it's like it feels like I have forever to go.
Oh, I bet. I bet
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, I'll be cheering you on. You'll get there.
Yeah.
I'm excited. So let's see what else. Oh, my weekend. Are we done
Mhm.
with your weekend? Did you have anything else going
No, I
on?
don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to the I almost said a ball, but I guess it's a banquet. Yeah,
I mean, it was fancy. People were dressed formal.
it was very
I saw
fancy.
lots of photos. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Um, it was very overwhelming at first, but in a great way.
Yeah.
Just a lot of people, a lot of talking, stuff like that. I didn't know tons of people around.
And it was big, right? You
It was
said it was
very
at the
big.
convention center. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
there were
huge.
55 tables of 8 people
Oh
each.
my
They had 500
gosh.
attendees.
Oh my
Yeah, it was
gosh. That's
huge. It was
huge.
huge.
Yeah.
The mayor was there. We're talking like fire chief, all the high up
Mhm.
people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it was really
Yeah.
cool. And I do like to see, I do like how much they talked about building up our community and a lot
Mhm.
of volunteering work and stuff like that because I do truly believe in stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like that side of things. And they talked about how and you and I have talked about this as well, about how
Mhm.
as business owners we have a responsibility to give back and stuff
Right.
like that
Yeah.
and invest in our community.
Yeah.
Which is part of why we build our businesses up because you and I have talked about like you have
Mhm.
to be able to take care of yourself to take care of others, right? You know
Right.
what I mean? Like the whole
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Um, but it was just a really fun event. It was so cool to mingle a little bit. Any reason to wear a suit, I'm down. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love wearing a suit.
Yes.
I hit up Macy's and got a great deal because they're closing out.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
my jacket was normally 425. My pants were normally 165,
Oh my
and my
gosh.
shirt was normally $85. I got it all for 122.
That's so
Huge
crazy.
deal.
That's
Yeah, yeah, it
awesome.
was a great deal.
Heck yeah.
Um, and that was a lot of fun. I got to mingle a little bit, saw some friends,
Mhm.
which is always good, and got me a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Mhm.
'Cause I'm not used to doing things like that
That's so
alone.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because that's what we've been doing, right? Is just
A
trying to
little
push
bit.
outside of
Yeah.
comfort zones.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but it was
Where
great.
you grow.
Yeah, that's the only
Mhm.
area. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
So that was good. Lyle and I, like you and I, ran yesterday as always, which was awesome.
Mhm.
And then Lyle and I usually, it's his first day back. So Sundays, a lot of the time, are like our day just to like unwind
Yeah.
and hang out. It's kind of our slow day,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so we did a lot of that. We watched, there's a TV show we watched called Invincible,
Okay.
and it's like a cartoon, but
Yeah.
it's like an adult, like it's not Marvel, but it's like a superhero,
Uh-huh.
and it's a great show. They actually show it more of like what it would probably actually be like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Kind of like The Boys,
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's amazing. And Lyle actually has taken up. He is quite the artist. So like he drew
Oh,
some pictures, and I'll have to show you after this. Like that looked just like
that's
the draw. Yeah,
awesome.
he's nailing it, which was super cool to
Oh,
be able to
that's
sit
so
there.
cool.
Yeah, and bond over that a little bit.
Mhm.
What did I do Saturday? Saturday I just cut a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
those are long work days for you,
yeah,
aren't they? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Oh, and that was the night. Oh, Saturday was the night of the banquet.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I
Yeah.
knew I did
Yeah.
something.
You were busy all
Yeah,
day that
yeah, it
day.
was a
Yeah.
good day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was cutting, so we couldn't go, but
Mhm.
we swimming next week. I marked
Mhm.
that out literally as we were talking
Good.
about it.
Good.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I gotta mark that off.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and then now we're here. Got the tattoo this morning, which was great.
Oh, I didn't realize it was today that
Literally
you got
right
it.
before I got here. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
like, I just,
Cool.
I was sitting there and
Makes sense. It's your day off. Yeah.
right, and I like, I've been trying to do things about like being more of like things I want to do and like stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I had the money right now and I had the time.
Yeah.
I was like, you
Okay,
know
cool.
what? Yeah, I text Sheena up and I was like, hey,
Yeah.
let's get it on the books. And she had time, which was awesome. She was like, what is it, typewriter font again? And I was like,
Yeah.
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 Every time
Exactly.
she
So
nailed it.
good.
Like she got it like almost the same size as my other one as well. Like
Uh-huh.
she's really good at like visually, which is
Right.
all her job, right? Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it.
That's
Anytime,
cool.
I don't know, getting new tattoos, like I can see how people say it's addicting
Yeah.
and everything.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah. And then I'm here. I'll go work out later today.
Yeah.
After I get Lyle, he usually likes, I'll pick up Lyle and then he likes to have a little downtime.
Mhm.
So I'll let him hang out in his room, kind of do his thing. I'll go work
Mhm.
out then. And then we're making spaghetti tonight and French bread,
Always so good.
like, oh, garlic bread, same
Heck
thing, I
yeah.
guess. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds so good.
Yeah. And we're going to do it together, kind of spend some time. I'm trying to find more ways. Uh, well, one, I can teach him like common skills, but also two, we can spend time together,
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's
So you
17
like
in
make it
July.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
like he's get to that point and we're having the conversations are a lot more fun because like I remember like my parents and like life was so different when we were
Mhm.
growing up. Like I remember my parents like, and I joked with Lyle a little bit about this too, but like,
Yeah.
when you turn 18, like you're out of here type stuff,
Mhm.
right?
Right. I
And
do the same
nowadays,
thing.
I don't know how kids would
Yeah.
even do that. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to live on your own,
Mhm.
and be able to afford that. So
Right.
I almost wonder if like a lot of kids nowadays are probably going to stay home for a little longer just to be able
Mhm.
to get that built up,
I would imagine.
And
Yeah,
so
because like a studio or like a one-bedroom apartment's what? 1,000, 1,100?
easily,
Yeah.
easily,
Mhm.
yeah, it's crazy. Like yeah, even like a
Yeah.
2 bedroom apartment, a studio, or even he's looking at least
Mhm.
1,200.
I have a
Like,
client that is getting pre-approved to purchase a home, and he's renting a room
hmm
for 850.
yeah, see, that's crazy.
Yeah.
My
So,
first, so the apartment Lyle was conceived in, it
okay.
was a
Can
one
you not
bedroom.
say
Is that not like the most like scientific way to say it? Like, like
like an
appropriate?
apartment in 2010?
Well, it's like 16 years ago. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. All right, all right. That's how I think of
Like
things. Like I
the
don't think
year
of things in the
works.
years. I think of the events. Do you ever do that? Like I'm like, oh, that's when this happened.
No,
Like that's how I
that's
associate
not true.
timelines is by
That's so
events.
funny.
Yeah. Like everything, anything, it's always by the event that happened in that time. But yeah. So that makes, I guess there's better ways to say that. So 16 years ago, almost 17 now,
Okay.
and maybe 9 more months. Uh, so I had a 1 bedroom apartment here in Kaiser,
Okay.
at the Rose Park Apartments,
Yeah.
and uh, and just a lovely landlord. She was the sweetest old lady. She loved
Yeah.
me so much.
Well,
She was so nice.
yeah.
And so, anyways, I was spending like $500
Mm-hmm.
for that,
Yeah.
and that was doable,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. When let's see, it was before I had Sophie, so it was probably about 2000. Oh yeah, 2009, I think. It was a one bed, one bath, but it was actually kind of a good size,
Okay.
and it wasn't an apartment, it was in a triplex, and it was like $400 in
Yeah.
Roseburg. Yeah.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much, and you couldn't find anything for that now. Like, listen, the
Oh,
guy
not
was
even
in a
a
room
room.
for
Yeah.
850 or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
You get a
crazy.
bunk bed. You share a room with
Yeah,
somebody.
exactly.
Yeah.
You could share a room.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah. So I would imagine kids will,
Well, and that's what I assume.
unless they're like, well, now though, sometimes, so now though, not sometimes, like, high schoolers have the option to graduate with associate's degrees
Which is
if they
crazy.
work really hard, like for their high school career. So, I mean, I would imagine that there are some cases where they graduate,
Mhm.
they're eligible for like just not a subway job, like an
Right, a
actual
quality
like
career.
quality career
Mhm.
job, entry level. They might be able to afford a rent
Oh,
or
yeah,
something,
absolutely.
but
Or maybe
that's
their
just
parents
not
have a business
most.
already or they're set up, they have the right
Yeah.
people to meet. You're right,
Mm-hmm.
but I would agree most are
Like
gonna
you'd have, but it's like most high schoolers, myself included, would have never had the foresight for that, you know?
No. Yeah,
My first
myself
my
included as
first
well.
job was minimum wage when I was that age.
Yeah, same. I was working at
So,
well, yeah, I was working with the Hoax for the Manageable Sausage
mhm.
Company.
Yeah.
Um, great, my sponsors for the triathlon.
Yes.
Yeah, but I was working with them and I was making good money with them, but it was the same
Mhm.
thing, when I wasn't like, because it was event work, right? So it wasn't
Right.
like every week I had work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
great when it was there.
Right.
And then I went to work at like Figaro's, which was
Mhm.
like minimum wage as well,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
That pizza place. I remember that. That
Ugh,
was so much
oh,
fun.
and it's so funny because that was Mike's first job was Figueroa.
Really?
Yeah, in
Him
Coos
and I have
Bay.
so much in
It's
common.
so
It
funny.
always cracks me up. Yeah, like he and I will
Yeah.
talk all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
like,
Well, you are like super close in age. You're like a year apart.
right, right.
Mike's gonna be 40 this year, so I'm
Yeah,
already like pre-planning
it's
his party. It's
exciting.
gonna be a good one.
Okay.
And the best
Let me
part
know, of
is
course, if you
our
need any
last
help.
name is Hill. Thank
Yes,
you. I'll take you up on it. So
absolutely.
it'll definitely be an over the hill party.
You
Like
see, okay,
I
I
have
argued.
been waiting for this for
I'm so
10
happy.
years.
Okay, so this I argued with somebody about this,
Yeah.
like when I turned 40. So this is good. I'm glad we're gonna talk. Okay,
Yeah.
so is 40 over the hill though?
Like you're about, yeah, you're like you're getting over your halfway point in life.
Is it? Like, so
Yeah.
I mean, I could
Let
see
me
what you're
see what
saying.
the average,
I would have
it's like
thought,
Wednesday being hump day. That's the
right.
middle of the week.
Well, and I get what you're saying because, like, I talked with another person about this,
Yeah.
they said the same thing. And to me, when I shoot from the hip,
Y-
50 to me is
Yeah.
the number. But that would mean you're going to live to 100, right?
Yeah.
Which
Let's
people
look it
do,
up.
but most probably don't, right? So I think you're
Okay.
right at
Average
40.
life is 76 years.
Dang, really?
Mm-hmm.
The average life is 7. So yeah, he's definitely over the hill already.
So when is the over the hill birthday?
It's got to be
It's
40.
associated with turning 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Mhm.
I'm over
So
the
I've
hill then.
literally been waiting for this the whole
Yes.
time I've been married to him because I was pregnant with Porter when he
The
turned
whole time I've
30.
been married. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just
He
like
was like maybe 29 when we got married or
right.
something. Yeah.
And
So
you're like, I can't wait till
I've
you're
been waiting for
yes,
this.
the over
Yeah.
the hill.
Yeah.
I
I've been
love it.
wanting to do it every year, but I'm like, no, I gotta wait till 40. And he doesn't listen to our podcast, so I can talk pretty freely about this,
Oh,
but
really?
it'll be
That's the
definitely
next thing
like
I was
a
about to
big,
ask you. I was like,
he listened to half
so
of our first one, so
okay, cool.
that's it.
Nice. All right. Well, then he'll never
He'll
know.
never know.
He'll never know. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Cool.
so it'll be good.
That's gonna be a good one. I'm excited.
Hmm.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Over the
His
hill.
30th, I booked a big trip to Bend with
Hmm.
all of his closest friends.
Right.
and booked out like a couple big rooms in a hotel, like
That's
really
cool.
nice hotel. And then we
Yeah.
spent the time like river rafting and going to all the little breweries. And
Sounds
oh, there was
amazing.
Oktoberfest was happening because it was
Wow.
end of September. So,
Yeah.
anyways, maybe we'll do that again.
It's not a
That
bad
was his
idea.
30th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's a good idea. I think he would love something like that.
Yeah. Yep. So,
That's
anyways.
so cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. 40th is a big one.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta, I mean, you gotta, yeah, that's why I went through and did like, I don't know. I think you're right. Like there is a point where you're like, I gotta make some changes. Not make some changes. It's not the right way of what I'm trying to say. Like you're getting older. It is like you realize your immortality
Yeah.
or
Yeah. That makes sense.
mortality.
Hmm.
That's the word.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish it was
I
immortality,
wish it
but
was immortality. Like
yeah.
Highlander, there can
Yeah.
only be one.
Well, I remember my mom telling me just about physical changes, how things were more difficult when
Oh
you
yeah,
turn 40. And so that's why I've always worked really hard to be proactive about it. I know you're
absolutely.
the same way,
Hmm.
like a lot of people wait until that point.
Hmm.
Uh, Like you got
Yeah.
to start early.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to
Yeah.
my son about that.
Yeah.
Like I had examples in my life of people that hadn't taken care of themselves. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I definitely don't want to go down that path. Um,
Right.
and then now seeing people like I've always moved just because I don't sit well. Like anybody who
Hmm.
watches the video probably sees that.
Yeah.
Um, like it even happened at the event.
Yeah.
Like we're sitting there and people are getting their awards and it's great and it's nothing wrong with them or anything like that,
Right.
right? But I just don't sit well and I'm in a dark room and I'm just like anxious. And so like I got up and walked around a couple times.
Yeah.
And then like the second time like Freddie came out and I think he like used like he was going to the bathroom as an excuse because he was like
Right.
checking on me, you know
Oh,
what I mean?
that's nice.
And I was out talking to another gentleman and we were just like talking about movement and I was just laughing because
Yeah.
like I was still listening, but I just needed to move my legs. That's
Yeah.
all it was. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I forget why I was getting to that. Oh, so I've always moved a lot. And working out has kind
Right.
of been a way to get that extra energy out.
Mhm.
Because it can actually I didn't realize this for the longest time, but I would get like pent up and angry. And
Okay.
it would mess with me emotionally because I
Right.
would have all this extra energy in me and I wouldn't
Mhm.
understand. I thought it was anxiety
Yeah.
and frustration, but
Mhm.
really it was just I needed to take a run.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's literally it. 'Cause and then when I figured that out, I was like, "Oh, I feel so much better after my workouts." Like, not only because
Mhm.
the serotonin release, dopamine release, all the things that happen, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. But it was I was able to work that out, and I felt like
Right?
I was having trouble sleeping and stuff, and that was part of it too. It's because
Mhm.
had too much energy going to bed,
Yeah.
like still.
Yep.
Um, but so I've always been kind of a mover, but like I agree with you.
Mhm.
Like to see guys who are even my same age now and
Mhm.
haven't been moving,
Right.
right? The
Such a
proactiveness,
huge,
like
and I
they're
just feel so
hurting.
bad because it's
Hmm.
like the quality of life could just be so much better.
Well, I agree with you because I'm 41 and people talk about being in their 40s and how they're breaking down and how they're hurting and everything. And
Mhm.
I'm like, they're like, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
No. Well,
Like,
and Mike hurt his knee the other day and he went, I think I told you, like
I'm
we
probably going to get an
last
injury
minute
now that I'm saying
went.
this. Like, not gonna,
Well, that's the thing is, so there's other things you can do. Like Mike hurt his knee and he went swimming with me that day I told you we
boom.
went, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Wow, this doesn't hurt my knee." Like, and it's a really good workout.
Yeah. It's low
Like you
resistance. Swimming is one of the
can
best
do
things you can
that,
do.
if you
Hmm.
have, yeah, there's something. There's always something.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's not easy. Like that's why you see a lot of elders in the swim resistance classes
Mhm.
out there. I remember, have you ever tried one of those? Like the swim exercises or jazzercises or whatever they
No,
do?
no.
They are hard.
Yeah, they
They
look like
they
it.
are
I mean, it is
ridiculous.
literally resistance
Yeah, I
training.
did it one time with these like in my
Oh,
20s with like these old
oh,
like people and they
oh.
were laughing at me because I'm like sweating out, I'm dying and I'm like
Yeah.
looking at them and they're like, it's not easy, is it, youngin? You know what I mean? Like joking and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys do this.
Yes,
Like that's
yeah.
insane.
Ugh,
Like,
swimming
um,
is really hard.
yeah,
Yeah.
I still need
Mhm.
to, maybe I'll do that today. Actually, after this, I'll go
Yeah.
get my courthouse membership.
Yeah. Yes.
So I
Yeah.
keep forgetting to do that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I really do like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
and that's the thing. I think learning how to swim in a professional manner, I guess,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
how we're
Like
doing
an
it.
athlete, I
Yes,
guess.
I guess,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Like learning the form, the technique, and
Yeah.
everything. It has given me much more of an appreciation for swimming
Right.
as well. Like I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
I kind of do want to practice this more, like, and get
Mhm.
into it.
Yeah.
Um, 'Cause I mean, like, as well, like, every swimmer you've seen, like, you rarely see a swimmer that doesn't look like they're in good shape. Do
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
but
true.
I think that's great.
Mhm.
And that's good that he was smart about that because that's the thing. It's not that I don't ever, like, I know I was bragging a minute ago too, but it's not that I ever don't feel hurt or injured or anything. Like, I got 2 car accidents in the last
Mhm.
couple months, right? So obviously I had to take it back, but you don't just stop. I think that's
Mhm.
the key as well,
Yeah.
is like you have to keep some type of movement going. Like, yes, do you refrain from pushing yourself and hurting yourself more and just like walk that day rather than doing bench because your arm's out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like with Mike, his knee hurt, right? So yeah, maybe you don't do legs that day. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't even do back. Anything
Yeah.
that requires, maybe you just do arms and
Yeah.
maybe some shoulders. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like type
Mhm.
and like which is really a lot of swimming if you do that. Like but even if he was kicking, the water helps out with that resistance so
Yeah.
much, which is nice.
Yeah.
That's really cool. But yeah, you got
Yeah.
to take care of yourself. It's so funny.
Mhm.
Well, I remember, have you ever heard this term before? You're going to pay, like, either you're going to pay the doctor or you're going to pay the gym.
Oh, that's good. I
Yeah.
think I have heard that, but I forgot about it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite
It's
sayings.
like, yeah, that's actually a good point because, like the courthouse is like I got month to month, and
Okay.
so because and it costs more.
I was
But it's
wondering.
because I don't know if after July I'll take a few months off.
Right.
So I just weighed the odds, and I can always convert over to a year contract
At any
if I'm
time.
like, I love this, I'm gonna keep going,
Right.
But last year I just did it for half the year. So I did month to month, costs a little more, it's maybe like 95
Okay.
a year, a month or something, but
Right.
like like $95, like
Yeah.
it's a lot. It feels like a lot.
Absolutely.
But, like, dang, that's a lot less than, like, having a major health condition caused by not
Absolutely.
taking care of myself,
That's what
like,
I'm
hands
saying.
down, yeah,
We will
mhm,
all have health issues.
yeah,
Yes.
mhm,
Absolutely. Those things will
but
happen.
if it's preventable,
That's where I'm at.
yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Like
mhm,
I would hate for them to be like, that's where I worry about my diet.
mhm,
'Cause that's where it's like preventable things I'm gonna get hit by. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, that's where I start
exactly.
thinking about needing to get more in touch with that.
Yeah, well, and that's how it is, like, with alcohol. It's so horrible for your body,
Mhm.
and that's I drink alcohol, whereas you don't really, but
No.
you eat
I
crappy
mean,
food.
I smoke weed and then eat a bunch of
Full
crap food.
term,
Yeah, so I mean,
yeah,
however you look at it,
yeah,
yeah.
but it's so bad for you. It's, like,
Yeah.
literally poison. It does not do anything good. I know that, like, little bits of red wine, like, is
Yeah, here or
totally
there.
fine, but, like, not a lot of it, though. I'm
Right.
talking, like, 4 ounces,
Right, helps your
or
blood
something.
circulation, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
which is, like, the average in a restaurant is, like, 6.
Yeah,
So, it's like you just have 1 in a restaurant, you're already past what's, like, healthy.
right.
So, it's like, I can't kid myself. So, anyways, yeah, so it's, like, the same. It's, like and also, like, American food, like, I don't know if I told you, but actually, it's the same client that rents a room for 850.
Okay.
He just moved here from Germany, not just. He
Oh, wow.
he has been switching back and forth between Germany and the United States because he had one parent here and one in Germany, but he
Oh,
was
okay.
mostly in Germany, so he has a thick German accent. But anyways, so he has lived most of his life there, including his adult life because he was in, like, the military over there,
Yeah.
the German military, I don't remember what they're called. He moved here and instantly became pre-diabetic as a adult just from eating the food here because of all
Wow.
the preservatives, the additives, the
I've heard that.
sugars. He's like, "So much of the American food is absolutely illegal in Germany."
Yeah.
He goes, "You can't find a lot of this stuff on your shelves here."
Yeah. I've heard that before as
It's like
well.
it's
Like,
yeah, which I knew that, but it was just
it's so
weird
crazy
that how
though.
instantly his body had never had anything like that, and it instantly became pre-diabetic.
That's what blows my mind, the
Yeah,
pre-diabetic, like,
I know.
'cause he's yeah, his like 'cause you think about all of us who have been eating it our whole lives, right? So we get,
Mhm.
like, these iron stomachs used to it, which is not
Yeah.
necessarily even right, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then somebody who would wow, who
But
had never been used to that.
yeah, isn't that
That's
crazy?
crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, I thought
That's
that was interesting
that is
and
super
scary.
interesting. And yeah, no, actually, 'cause then you start thinking about what you're eating,
Yeah,
right?
and
Yeah.
that's why pretty much everybody's gonna end up with some form of cancer at the end of their life.
No, I believe it.
Hopefully to end. Some is
Right.
not. Some is in the beginning or middle.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I'm glad they got rid of that red dye.
Mhm.
now because they like
Yeah.
that undeniably causes cancer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With those things,
It
we
used to
need
be
more of
in
that.
Doritos and stuff. I wonder if
Yeah, and the
it
Cheetos and stuff.
is it what oh yeah, it's in Cheetos. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's why my kids would have like the white Cheetos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
But yeah.
is it totally out now of
I mean,
those?
so like anything, I think there's like a timeline,
Yeah.
because they
Like
probably
it's
have things that are
going
on
to
the
happen.
shelves,
Yeah.
right? And I don't know if like, so I don't know all the specifics. I don't know if there
Mhm.
was like a recall
Yeah.
that was put on the
It's
stuff
so
that's
bad
out,
for you.
or if it was just like, hey,
Yeah.
you can't manufacture anything and it all has to
Mhm.
be sold by this date.
Mhm.
Otherwise, then it's off the shelf.
Yeah.
I could see something like that
Right.
being more put into place.
Yep.
That way, like, as bad as it sounds, like companies aren't just losing massive amounts of money. Because I'm sure that's
Mhm.
probably what they would have argued.
Right.
Like, hey, like, how much this is going to cost us?
Yeah.
Because that's how it goes, right?
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's so horrible for you.
Yeah.
So horrible for
I
you.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Health is crazy.
it is.
Health, fitness, it's a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a good one. Got talked about a bunch of things.
Yeah.
Got it going. I think we're going to get going as well
Mhm.
about that time.
All right.
Yeah. So, guys, always a pleasure. And as always,
Thank you for joining the Real Cut podcast, where we give you our unfiltered take on life.